Hello everybody, it's Irish here. Today we're going to take a look at Saladin, one of the best cavalry commanders in KVK2 that also has longevity and usability in Season of Conquest. Before we get started, I just want to say if you aren't subscribed already, I'd really appreciate it if you would. It helps grow the channel and helps me create more quality Rise of Kingdoms content. Starting off with Saladin's skills, you always want to start with the first skill. The first skill does damage factor and also kills anybody that has healing effects. This is particularly good for breaking down people like Richard because they heal, but now this is huge healing fact reduction every time that he uses his skill. From there, you can look at either his second or his third skill. I think his third skill is actually more important because you take reduced skill damage and counterattack damage. That's huge. 30%, 20% are very, very large values. Also, you look at his second skill, 20% increased attack, defense, and march speed for cavalry. Always helpful. Stat boosts are nice. You notice here, I do not have Saladin Expertise. That is because his fourth skill is only good for fighting cities. And since I primarily use him just as open field, I have not gone to his fourth skill. His Expertise only slightly increases the damage factor and reduces marching speed and healing for his first ability, and so it's not really necessary. You save a lot of gold heads by not expertising him, and so unless you're going to be rallying your whale, you don't need to even look at his fourth skill. There's only one build that people generally use for Saladin. I mean, there is some like slight variances if you're going to be using him for rallying and you want to do a very specific niche rally, but this is the main talent tree. As you can see, we run at the support tree, run to rejuvenate, 150 rage whenever a skill is used, super important. And also emergency protection to reduce skill damage. This stacks with his ability, and so you can get a significant skill damage reduction every single time that this procs. From there, you want to go ahead and Blazing Shield, further reducing skill damage. If you notice, there's a trend here, because in the open field, you want to reduce the skill damage taken because you get hit by a lot of AoE. Then you go and you want to work on Undying Fury, more rage, and see Halberd to try and get more damage to arch units just to clear out this cavalry. And lastly, you'll go down to the Conquering side. And here you're going to get Buckler Shield, which reduces counterattack damage by 9%. Altogether, this makes Saladin very, very tanky in the open field. He takes a lot less damage than you'd expect. And this is why, even though he's an earlier game KVK2 commander, you'll still find him a lot in the open field in SOC as sort of like a third or fourth march for a lot of players. Part of Saladin's viability in SOC is that he does have a museum relic. Honestly though, his museum relic is not very good compared to a lot of museum relics. He's got a 10% cavalry attack boost and 10% cavalry march speed. But if you're planning to use him in SOC because you've used him strongly in KVK 2s and 3s, you definitely want to focus on getting this museum relic so that way your Saladin can be slightly stronger and lose trades a little less than it would against some of the more meta commanders that are currently used in the open field. Lastly, you're trying to look here at what are some good pairs for Saladin, and for that, there's a lot of different options. The most common one that people probably use in KVK2 is Genghis Khan, just because Genghis Khan makes a lot of sense. He's a strong cavalry skill commander, but he's very squishy, and so you probably only want to use him if you're going to go proc, try and get guys very quick with lots of skill damage or nuke, because otherwise you're going to get beat up a lot more than you think. CC is another good one. He boosts attack, boosts march speed, makes Saladin a lot stronger, and gives him more things that Saladin already provides. But again, he's a little squishy. Additionally, you can think of if you have Monimoto. Monimoto, again, good cav commander, someone you should use. If you don't have these legendaries in KVK2, Pelagius is probably one of the better options. Just the fact that he gives increased attack and defense, boosts cavalry stats. He has this nice little healing factor so you could stay in the fight a little bit longer than you would normally. And then you see his expertise boosts his stats, and then he's got a pretty okay ability that also restores rage, so you can move your first ability significantly more often. Once you get to SOC, you can really think of pairing him with any of the SOC commanders. I mean, Jones always a good one against some AoE. You see, I mean, there's really no bad options. Nevsky is probably someone you want to have primary, but I use Nevsky Joan, and then also another commander you can consider using is YSG. YSG is one that I tend to use actually with my Saladin just because I have YSG expertise, and the boosted skill damage plus the AoE pairs really, really well with Saladin in the open field. And so, while it may not be the most meta of marches, I actually get a lot of really good trades that I wouldn't have expected to otherwise using Saladin YSG even here in SOC. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, or comment down below if you have any new ideas or things you'd like me to see go over in Rise of Kingdoms.